Oh, it's another brew day here. I got inspired by Tony over at Yorkshire Homebrew when he was doing his taste test of his California Common, and I realized I hadn't made a Cali Common in a long time, so that's what I'm going to shoot for today. Got the Robo Brew filled with 20 liters of water, sitting at 71C. When I add my grains, it'll drop it down to 66 or 67C, which is where I'm going to mash for an hour. In terms of the grains that I'm using today, I've got 2 kilos of Pale 2-row, and I'm going to be adding 125 grams of Munich, 100 grams of Caramel Crystal 40. I'm going to use 28 grams of regular chocolate, and most of the recipes that I've seen call for a light chocolate, but I don't have it, so I'm just going to use half the amount of a regular chocolate and hope for the best. And I'm going to use some biscuit malt. I don't have any Victory, so I'm going to use some biscuit malt and see how much. And I'm going to need 50 grams of that. Now remember, this 12-liter batch. I do smaller batches here, so I'm going to try out the new top screen method on the Robo Brew. So get these grains crushed and get them mashed in. Be back in a sec. Just finished doughing in, and we've dropped from 71 down to 68. I'm going to keep stirring until we get closer. And I remember to turn the high-powered element off this time. I always forget to do that, and I end up scorching the bottom. But looks like it's going to be a good mash. Shouldn't get a stuck mash this time. I mean, simple grains. Shouldn't be a problem. So I'll just keep stirring this and get the recirculation pump going and get it down to 66, which is what my mash temperature I'm aiming for. And we'll go for an hour, and in the meantime I can get my hops weighed out and explain what I'm doing there. Okay, before I do the hops, I'm just going to try that new top screen technique. So we'll take off the center plug. Remove that little rubber bit. Get the screen ready. This goes back on. Put it close to the top. And then the screen goes on. Challenging one-handed. And then I'll put the little rubber stopper in there to hold it in place. And that should be sitting just above. Put the lid on. All right, here goes nothing. Well, that doesn't really do much, does it? Maybe I'll have to try a bigger piece of pipe and have it go a bit more sideways on the top. What if it hits that middle piece? Alright, more experimentation to come. Okay, back with a different piece of tube. Now, I'm going to try and get right in there so you can see. The recirculation is hitting the top of that rubber stopper and splashing out kind of in a circular pattern on top of the top plate, which should be dispersing the liquid. I guess it's technically sweet wort at this point, but not finished. Dispersing it so that it shouldn't create too many holes in the channels in the grain bed. Plus I got a lot of liquid in there, so you know what? This is going to be it. This is my final shot at changing things today. If I can come up with a better idea, then I'll look into that later. Okay, got the grain basket lifted. Now let's take a look and see if any channels have been created. looks pretty good. I think I'm definitely onto something with this. Alright, we'll let this finish dripping and then get it up to a boil. Okay, so my hop schedule again, at 45 minutes, 10 minutes, and 1 minute. So I'm gonna it's been boiling for about 15 minutes now. I'm gonna get the first amount of Northern Brewer hops in and give that a stir, and then I'll start my timers. I love these, Jesus, not even focused. I love these bags from Brew Bag. These are the hop bags from them. Really, really amazing mesh on them. Fairly cheap. You get them from the States, so a little bit in shipping, but they're definitely worth it if any of you guys are looking for alternative to a hop spider. Yeah, so we'll be back in with the 10 minutes left in the boil to do the next hop addition and get the wort chiller and some world lock in there. Okay, 10 minutes left in the boil, just outside of 10 minutes left. I'm going to be adding the 10-minute edition of Northern Brewer hops, world lock tablet, and also put in the wort chiller. And what I like to do, just to help with not cutting down the temperature of the wort, is to just basically run your wort chiller with some hot water first. Get it as warm as you can, and then drop it in. It only takes a couple of minutes. Final minute. Final hop addition. Alright, the boil's done, so now it's time to chill. So, first thing we do is pause this, get the elements off. Start getting some cold water through. And then I like to turn the pump on to get the wort over top of the cold rings, and also it helps aerate the wort because when you boil it, you're boiling out all the oxygen. So this does double duty, running it through the bag just in case it catches any sediment from the bottom. And we'll be back when she's cooled. Alright, finished cooling, and as you can see, lots of foam. Good aeration. Got it down to 19 or 20 degrees. Yeah, the beautiful Canadian weather out there that we get dumped on regularly means the groundwater is so cold. I could take this right down to like 6 or 7 degrees if I really wanted to. It's insane. But yeah, there's my big starter from 2 batches of just a mild and a cream ale, and built it up, and hopefully this will work for the common. So we'll just get the pump on. Get it transferred over, and then we'll get it into a nice area that'll hopefully hold it at about 16-17 degrees Celsius. Well, end of the brew day. Just got some cleanup to do, and thought I'd run over the numbers. I did not even come close to my numbers because I started with way too much water. I didn't have enough grain for the grain absorption that I was expecting, and the boil-off rate again was incredibly low. So I got 17 liters instead of 12. Well, it was 12 and a half. I set my efficiency to 93% in order to get an original gravity of 1037, because that's what I measured. So once again, the efficiency of this RoboBrew 3 is outstanding, but I really got to learn my absorption rates and my boil-off rates. So basically what you can do now, you notice it's only a 4% beer, and I want it, a little bit higher than that. I don't have any dry malt extract on hand, so I'm looking at adding a little bit of dextrose to bump the ABV. So I'm gonna look at putting 150 grams in, which should add it and not dry it out too much. and let's look at what that has done to the numbers. That gets it to a 4.5%, which is more reasonable. So this particular beer won't be to style because as a result the IBUs are lower and the ABV is lower, and it'll be thinner and it'll be drier, but hopefully it'll be refreshing.